Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and we welcome you inside Stevens Stadium for one of the best interconference rivalries in all of women's college soccer. It's 9th-ranked Stanford coming to Santa Clara to take on the 2-5-0 Broncos, two-time defending College Cup participants. Thank you for tuning in tonight. You can see we have a packed house here despite the elements momentarily, as we should have a good one tonight. Kevin Dan on the call for you. Let's take a look at the starting 11s for both teams quickly before this one gets going. We'll start with the Stanford Cardinal. Paul Ratcliffe sending out these players. Ryan Campbell, the goalkeeper. Elise Evans, Kennedy Wesley, Paige Rubenstein, Madison Eisen in the back four. Julia Leontini in the midfield alongside Sierra Engie and Jasmine Ike. And up top, Abby Grubel, Lumi Kosmeyer, and Ali Montoya. The Cardinal, the number 9 team in the country. Meanwhile, for Jerry Smith and the Santa Clara Broncos, it'll look like this. The starting keeper, Marley Nicholas. We hear she could be splitting time again with Kylie Fouch, 45 minutes apiece. Alyssa Bourgeois, Marissa Bubnis, Makoto Nezu. Along that back line in the midfield, Lucy Mitchell, Andy Carrick, Karen Gore, Ellie Glenn. Gore could slot at an outside back potentially. And then up top, Farrah Walters, Izzy DeQuilla, with Colby Barnett in attacking mid. It'll be a 4-4-2 for Santa Clara. Nothing tactically different from their 1-0 loss to Cal last Sunday. And speaking with Jerry Smith earlier this week, he said, I had a simple message to the team after that loss to Cal. We're going to the NCAA tournament. But the path to the NCAA tournament for Marley Nicholas and the Broncos is going to be through winning the WCC with 5 losses from the non-conference slate at the very least. And the at-large route probably is not too likely. Of course, you beat the number 9 team in the country in the Stanford Cardinal. Their only loss this year at Northwestern about a week and a half ago. And that could change the equation a little bit. So Stanford will be in its Cardinal red uniforms, Santa Clara in black, as the fans are still filing in here at Stevens Stadium. Should be a doozy. Those fans are into it, and let's get this party started. Farrah Walters replacing the injured Holly Furphy, who got hurt in the Penn State match. And in her first start, she had a hat trick against Oregon, 4-1. So Jerry Smith very pleased, obviously, with that result and what Walters was able to bring. Broncos looking for the first opportunity. Won't happen there. The next step is consistency for this group. So they just kind of came out flat against Cal. Gave up a goal in the first half to Anissa Gray a little bit before the half-hour mark and lost 1-0. The Golden Bears able to successfully defend in the second half. And Santa Clara didn't have that many great scoring opportunities. They said, once you get down 1-0 to a group like that, they're a very good defensive team, very organized in the back line. It's tough to break through that line. And didn't do themselves any favors by giving up that first half goal. Wesley with the solid tackle. Actually, she's going to get called for the foul. Kennedy Wesley wearing the captain's armband. Just a tremendous outside back for the Stanford Cardinal now in her senior year. Sierra Engie, the other on-pitch captain for the Cardinal. Here's Carrick, the freshman. Send that one out to Karen Gore. Gore going to head for Colby Barnett. Cross is on and headed in! A goal right off the bat for Izzy DeQuilla, and Santa Clara scores in the second minute! Wow! How about some more early match fireworks for Izzy DeQuilla, who scored in the 3rd minute at Oregon and delivers this header into the back of the net. Beautiful ball in by Colby Barnett. And Izzy DeQuilla with her 3rd goal of the season, and the Broncos gain the early advantage. You never know what's going to happen between these two programs. They played each other so often. They usually play twice a year, more than conference foes face each other. Because they are so close to each other geographically, and because they're always in the NCAA tournament, the NCAA always pits these teams against each other in the early rounds, be it the first or the second normally. Sierra Angie has that one headed out by Bourgeois. Gore defending Montoya. Ali Montoya, a very impressive freshman. Jasmine Ike couldn't turn on that one, and it'll be a goal kick. And that's the thing. I mean, Jerry Smith saying earlier this week, I can't tell you how many fantastic teams, like College Cup level teams I've had that have lost in the first round or second round because we had to play Stanford. Of course, they've been to, 9 College Cups in the last 14 seasons, and this is a team that could certainly get to their 10th in the last 15, 3 national championships in the 2010s, including one in 2019 and one in 2017. Just a kind of bit unfortunate for both of these sides that they're so close to each other, because normally this should be like an Elite 8 level matchup, but if they're not both seeded, then they're going to play each other early. This is Rubenstein. Paige Rubenstein, veteran outside back for the Cardinal, a senior from Davis, California. Speaking of Davis, California, they have another Davis native on their team who is not in the starting 11, Maya Doms, who is a fantastic player. This is Ike trying to go upper left 90 and missing the mark. But Maya Doms missed the match against San Diego on Thursday. We've heard she is day-to-day, but obviously not in the starting 11. Maya Doms was a third-team All-American last year when she led the Cardinal with 11 goals and 25 points, an attacking mid. Has had a stellar career for Paul Ratcliffe, who just won his 400th match as a collegiate head coach around his time on the farm and also at St. Mary's, so he has some WCC roots. Bubness has done a nice job since slotting into the starting center back role. Going back to that UCLA match, a 1-0 defeat to the Bruins, a match that the Broncos were solidly in, and really Jerry Smith saying, well, this might be the most complete team we play all year. Stanford just so deep, said their second team is better than most teams in the top 20. Looking up top for D'Aquila as Evans able to clear that one. Obviously, UCLA is the #1 team in the country, and they just had a tremendous result this afternoon, winning 4-0 at number 9 Pepperdine. Pepperdine and Stanford sharing that number 9 national ranking. I think Stanford might be the more complete side when it's all said and done. And a great start here for the Broncos, hungry for more. A little bit behind D'Aquila. And I'll go all the way to Ryan Campbell. No relation to Jane Campbell, the former Stanford keeper, who had an All-American career. Has gone on to play in the NWSL. Speaking of the NWSL, big campaign tonight to bring a team to San Jose in the NWSL. We hope to talk with a Santa Clara alum, a famous Santa Clara alum at that, about the push for San Jose to get an NWSL team. Of course, the park is already there, where the Earthquakes play. And we'll have that coming up at halftime, or so we've been told. We'll update you on that as this match progresses. Nezu shaping that one out for Gore. Be an interesting battle, her and Ali Montoya. Montoya, one of a lot of Bay Area products on this Stanford team. Such a good club soccer scene, youth levels here in the Bay Area. Elise Evans a product of it, as is Montoya, as is Jasmine Ike for the Cardinal. Those three all in the starting 11 for Paul Ratcliffe here this evening. This one all the way back to Marley Nicholas, making her 4th start of the season. Again, the expectation we've been told by Jerry Smith is that Kylie Fouch will get some time in this one as well. It's Farrah Walters with it, sizing up Ison. Ison with a beautiful dispossession, cutting that one down. Barnett, the assist. Hopeful ball forward and caught easily by Ryan Campbell. Campbell is a junior from Laguna Beach. Has U.S. national team training camp experience, U14 to U17. Took herself out of national team consideration when taking an injury in training. Ike, good ball forward, looking for Lumi Kostmeyer, but it's a sliding Nicholas who gets there first. And that's, I think, going to go down as a foul on Lumi Kostmeyer. Kostmeyer, by the way, coming off a hat trick against San Diego, a 5-0 win over the WCC Toreros on Thursday. Kostmeyer now 7 goals from her first 8 matches as a collegiate player. The freshman from Connecticut has been a load to deal with for opposing back fours. Couldn't thread that one through. Elise Evans beautifully playing that. Well, the Cardinal off to such a great start. It was a bit of a nervy road trip for them, their first road trip away from California. Lost at Northwestern, and the Wildcats were certainly the more positive side, I thought. Better team for the first hour in that one, and they defended beautifully in the last 25, 30 minutes or so. Lost to the Wildcats, who are now in the top 20 at number 18 in the latest poll. And then they defeated DePaul 3-1, and really a match where they could have had 5 or 6 goals. DePaul could have had a couple more as well. It's going to skip over to Nicholas. Santa Clara, they've had some unlucky 1-0 scorelines, losing a couple of matches on own goals against UC Davis and Penn State earlier this year, matches in which they were largely the more positive side by a mile. There'll be a foul against Santa Clara at the center of the park. This is maybe more of a 3-3-1 side than 2-5-0. Obviously, that's not how it works. It's not about expected goals or what your record should be. It's what the actual goals are and what your record really is. And for the Broncos now, it's all about winning the WCC title. That'll get them in the NCAA tournament. And, hey, if you can get a win against Stanford, certainly help your seeding come tournament time should you win the WCC. And UC Davis, really the only RPI albatross loss, if you will. And UC Davis is a good side. But Santa Clara, certainly a team that figures it should beat UC Davis 10 times out of 10. Lee Glenn pointing to her boot, saying, I got tripped up. A no whistle. They played 11 minutes. Here's Nezu. We had a thrilling one here at Stevens Stadium Friday night when the men's soccer team erased a 2-0 deficit, getting a brace from Jesse Anamu, defeating the Utah Valley Wolverines 3-2. The men's team now winners of 3 in a row, 3-2-1 on the season, and the women's side looking for their 3rd win of the year. And the fans are still streaming in here. We have a great crowd on hand, braving the elements. I say braving in quotes. It is a drizzle. The It looks like it's coming down a little bit harder on your screen just because of all the lighting. And it is not a deluge. As Walters trying to give Ison some trouble, and Ryan Campbell had to come out of her box to come play that one. Yeah, should be a Santa Clara throw-in. I mean, it is coming down, but I think it looks worse on stream than it actually is in reality. That being said, I'm glad I'm indoors. Bubness can't link up with Walters. Goal kick here for Campbell. I'll mention that Paul Ratcliffe just got his 400th career victory. I talked with him earlier this week. He said, I had no idea it was my 400th win until the team told me after. They saw something about it on Twitter from the Stanford women's soccer page. He's like, oh, all right, guess I have 400 wins. And he's all about the next match. Paul Ratcliffe, not a guy to get caught up in personal accolades. A heck of a coach. And we are going to get a clock stoppage here as there is a Bronco down, and the rain appears to be coming down a little bit harder now. Yeah, especially so. See if we can get a number on that Bronco. That's Farrah Walters. And doesn't appear to be too comfortable. Yeah, it's definitely coming down a little harder now. The concern is with Farrah Walters, the hat tricker against Oregon. It looks like she's going to be good enough to stay on, and she will. So good sign there for the Broncos. Keep her attacking bite on the pitch. Santa Clara get a free kick. This is Barnett. Barnett already 1 assist and didn't come off her foot right. So a goal kick coming up, but a beautiful service into the box in the 2nd minute for Izzy DeQuilla. Couldn't bend that one in that time. Now the Broncos pressing here, trying to force a mistake out of a Cardinal back line. On this rainy Sunday evening. Yeah, as soon as I said it was drizzling, it started to really come down. Your players talking about how fun it is to play in the rain. Get muddy out there, roll around in the mud, the water. Warm shower will be nice for everyone who attends this match after. Throw-in coming out here for Santa Clara. I know there are parts of San Jose that we're experiencing blackouts earlier this evening. This is a good way to, if you're one of those people experiencing a blackout, come out and enjoy this match. It's been a treat thus far. It promises to be thrilling going forward for the final 75 minutes or so. Karen Gore trying to shape one in. And on one hop collected by Campbell. Carrick over to Glenn and make that Bourgeois the outside back. Lucy Mitchell trying to pick out Walters. Elise Evans, a bit of solid defending. The freshman center back. The Cardinal have had a lot of great four-year starting center backs since Paul Ratcliffe has been around. You think back to an Alina Garcia-Mendez, a Maddie Bauer. Elise Evans could be the next one in line. They have switched up their center back pairing over the last couple of matches. It had been Elise Evans and Avani Brandt. They started the first 6 matches together. Madison Eisen has now started the last 3. A senior from Rockland, California, up in the Sacramento area. Cardinal on the move with Rubenstein. Paige Rubenstein carrying it towards the edge of the box. And didn't close on her until she got right to the 18. It was a nice, long, positive run from Paige Rubenstein. She's got a couple of assists this season. Foul called. Leontini taken to turf by Colby Barnett, and that'll set up a free kick. Leontini, if it is her who takes it, could be Abby Grubel as well. Both very capable on these set pieces for the Cardinal. It'll be Abby Grubel, the grad student from Santa Ana, who's got a couple of goals to her name this year in her 5th season playing for Paul Ratcliffe. Hand goes down, ball goes into the box, and first head to it provided by Ellie Glenn. Nicely dealt with there by Santa Clara. Forcing Evans to chase, and she'll throw it in. Or leave it off for Paige Rubenstein to throw in. Traditionally, your outside backs will take those throw-ins, not your center backs. Yeah, the rain continuing to douse the athletes and spectators. And the fans continue to pile in here to Stevens Stadium. Here's Gore. Oh, Leontini. She's going to get shown a yellow, yeah. Went in, physical challenge. First booking of the match. You'll see it again right here. The fans chant, "You can't do that." It was about to come right after that. Samantha Martinez, our referee in the center of the park. Jessica Peralta, AR1. Naomi Nunes, AR2. She worked the Stanford-San Diego match. And Isai Baltazar, our alternate. This is Campbell. It is officially pouring. And these fans truly are braving the elements now. Mitchell. Leontini. Another hard challenge. And she's got to be careful here, working on a yellow now. I think this was just called a throw-in, though, as Mitchell is still sitting down. They're going to stop the clock, and they're going to need the training staff to come take a look at her here in the 21st minute. Here is that physical challenge again from Julia Leontini. She comes in right here. Got the ball first, certainly. And unfortunately, they are carrying Mitchell off. Well, that is not a good sign. Well, we hope she's all right. But never good. Damani Osei was helped off the pitch on Friday. A valuable center back for the men's team. And Lucy Mitchell has been praised by Jerry Smith all year. Has absolutely loved her energy out there. Has earned high marks from Jerry Smith all season, and now Lucy Mitchell carried off as Isabel Dayakis will come on for her. Here's Izzy DeQuilla! And Izzy DeQuilla able to slot it home! Going cross cage, putting it in, and Izzy DeQuilla has a brace. 2-0 Santa Clara in the 22nd minute. Wow, what a strike there from number 9. Let's take another look. Working on Madison Eisen off the hop. Wow. Brilliantly struck by Izzy DeQuilla. That's her 4th of the season, and now the goals starting to come in bunches for DeQuilla, who scored 15 of them her freshman year, 8 each of the last 2 seasons, and now 4 this year. So that's career goal number 35 for Izzy DeQuilla. And the Broncos, for just the 2nd time this season, have scored more than once in a match. Had the 4-1 win at Oregon, and that's it. Had a 1-0 win at San Jose State to open the season. That didn't score in their next 4 matches. 4-1 win at Oregon, 1-0 loss to Cal, and a 2-0 lead right now against the number 9 team in the country. Leontini, top of the box, no. Foul against Stanford. So free kick here taken by Bubness. Let's see if Izzy can get the hat trick. Stanford player just had a hat trick in their last match. Now perhaps someone could get a hat trick against the Cardinal. Foul in Santa Clara. Fans don't like it. Kennedy Wesley will take the free kick and play it back over to Madison Eisen. Well, the Cardinal have its work cut out for them. Now, they can score goals in bunches. I've seen this team come back from 2-0 down plenty of times. I've seen them come down from 2-0 and win 5-2. And this is far from over. Catherine Paulson, the first sub for Stanford. And also on alongside her is the Australian international Amy Sayer. So Abby Grubel off. as Catherine Paulson comes on, and Lumi Kosmeyer also off, with Amy Sayer, getting into the mix. Sayer, a 2023 World Cup hopeful for Australia. They are hosting the Women's World Cup next summer. See if the United States women can make it 3 straight championships at the Women's World Cup. So throw in here. Broncos. Still looking to be very positive with the 2-0 lead, and the rain is not let up at all. It is only coming down even worse. This pitch conditions were pretty good when I was down there at about 7 o'clock. Still seems to be in pretty decent shape, but this could turn into a puddle of mud like the Rock Band by the 80th, 90th minute. Walters working with Evans, Elise Evans. Should say working against Evans. Got the boot to it. Broncos back on it. Barnett racing to it, and Rubenstein able to cut that down. Paulson gets ahead to it, has a twin sister, identical twin Sarah on the team. They both missed last year with injury. D'Aquila looking for Farrah Walters, but shut down very nicely by Elise Evans. Good bit of defending. Broncos back on it, and it looks like the rain is starting to deter a few fans here, and well, understandably so. I feel guilty for saying it was sprinkling now. It's my fault. All right, Stanford countering. It's Jasmine Ike playing one for Sayer. What a save made by Marley Nicholas. Shot from distance, trying to catch Nicholas off her line, but it's headed away by Karen Gore. And you know, that's not a bad idea from Rubenstein. Ball figures to be so slippery. Just put one on target and see if it could slip out of the hands of Nicholas. But confidently caught that one, Marley. Such a good leader for this team. Coming off that torn ACL, it forced her to miss a year. Returned against Penn State. A couple of weeks back. Jerry Smith saying, yeah, her goalkeeping a bit rusty. That's to be expected, but her leadership, you don't need an ACL to be a good leader. And, you know, for Jerry Smith, there are 3 real keys to being a good goalkeeper: communication, organization, and leadership. And he said Marley is really good at all 3 of those things, and you don't need an ACL to be a good communicator, be a good organizer, and a good leader. Walters over to Carrick. Santa Clara looking to continue to build here. Good ball forward for Farrah Walters, who stays onside. Going out wide. This is D'Aquila taking the shot. Beautifully blocked by Eisen, and that will yield a corner for Santa Clara here in the 30th minute. Izzy D'Aquila looking for the hat trick. And got a good opportunity there. It's going to be Colby Barnett at that far corner flag. Colby with the assist on the first goal. That came in just the second minute. Santa Clara also scoring in the 22nd minute. Both from D'Aquila. A little too heavy on that touch for Nezu, but Makoto gets there. Tries to send it in, and it'll be a throw-in. We have played a half hour. Nezu taken to the ground. That'll be a foul on Stanford. It's a free kick near the center of the park for Makoto Nezu. Sayers got to step aside a little bit. There she goes. Nezu, I'll play this one long. Looking for D'Aquila. This could key a counter here for the Cardinal, though. Amy Sayer had a nice shot earlier. Big save from Nicholas. Sayer going to play a direct ball over the top for Ike, but cleaned up by Marley Nicholas. Nicholas has had to make 2 saves. Both teams 4 shots, both teams 2 on goal. The 2 on goal for the Broncos found the back of the net. Both were brilliantly taken by Izzy D'Aquila. Ellie Glenn. Be a foul on Paulson as she tackled Bourgeois. Sayer, nice ball for Montoya. Ali Montoya is in the box, and what a beautiful play there by Bubness, sliding to the rescue for Santa Clara to yield just a corner instead of, at the very least, a shot on target. Great work rate shown there by Bubness as you see Nia Harrison on your screen. Just coming on to the match, the sophomore from the San Diego area. Played in. It's Elise Evans looking up her right 90 and just missing the target.
For Stanford, number 23, Nia Harrison is in. For 21, Paige Rubenstein.
So Harrison is come on for Rubenstein. And Avani Brandt came on for Madison Eisen. And Ali Montoya is off for Samantha Williams. So all like-for-like subs for Paul Ratcliffe and the Stanford Cardinal find themselves 2 goals down. Avani Brandt, who started at center back the first 6 matches of the season. Missed the DePaul match. And has played the last 2. Samantha Williams to her left foot. Takes the shot and puts it in the back of the net. And Stanford has cut the deficit in half in the 34th minute thanks to the left boot of Samantha Williams, who has her 4th goal of the season. Well, you knew it wasn't over, even though Santa Clara had a 2-0 lead. This Stanford team, far too dangerous to think that this was anything but done. And so the Cardinal right back in it, down just a goal, and important for Stanford to get that first goal before halftime. Don't want to be staring at a 2-0 deficit going into the halftime locker room. Now it'll be on the Broncos to try to bump that lead back up to 2 goals before the first 45 minutes are up. Amy Sayer, the assist on that one. Amy Sayer, such a good table setter for the Cardinal. Barnett, it's DeQuilla taking a shot and just missing. Ooh, whoa, nearly a first half hat trick for number 9. Didn't miss wide by much. There in the 35th minute, nearly got that goal right back. Aki Yuasa coming on now for Stanford. She replaces Jasmine Ike. One freshman on for another for the Cardinal. Yuasa actually got a chance to train with Bayern Munich in Germany when she was living out there. She is an American from Vermont initially. Earl Walters getting a boot to it. Paulson and Bourgeois, as Paulson is fouled. Another foul, and I thought with that extra whistle that Walters might have been shown a yellow. It certainly wasn't a yellow card kind of foul, but never know when you hear that extra whistle that maybe it's coming. Leontini on the free kick. Had a screamer of a goal against San Diego on Thursday. I'll update you on halftime. We will not be doing the halftime interview anymore about bringing an NWSL team to San Jose. We'll go through your first half highlights, of which there have been aplenty. So we'll still keep you entertained. Well, just to clear that up from earlier, can't deliver on my early promises. Don't trust a word I say. All right. This is getting chippy, as you might expect when you have 2 rival teams, 2 top-notch sides. You add in the elements. And there have been plenty of fireworks in this first half. Free kick here for the Broncos. Sent in by Bourgeois. And a foul on the edge of the box against Santa Clara's. Elise Evans appeared to collide with a Bronco, and the foul going on that Bronco. Harrison. And Gore is spilled. At outside back today, they preferably would have her in the midfield, but roster construction as it is right now with who's healthy has her best suited as an outside back. More of a natural midfielder, Gore. Barnett. Deakis was asking for the ball at her feet. Barnett's going to look back post, headed away by Kennedy Wesley. Bourgeois trying to keep it in a dangerous area. Carrick, nicely played. Annie Carrick, good ball forward. D'Aquila, the one-touch pass, gets it back from Walters. Oh, and it's cut down by Elise Evans. That was very positive, though, from Santa Clara. Really interesting thing brewing there. And if that was paid off, would have been brilliant. Sienna Elmazai coming on.
16, Sarah Paulson in for number 14, Julia Leontini.
For Santa Clara, and also for
Sienna Elmazai is in.
the Cardinal, it's Sarah Paulson on. The identical twin of Catherine. Making her 4th appearance of the season now. Their parents put them in the same classes and everything together. People couldn't tell them apart. Now, both on the pitch here. Now you can see the ball just die because of the buildup of water on the pitch. Here's Paulson, Catherine Paulson playing it forward. Samantha Williams takes the shot, missing wide. Flag was up, I was about to say. So you'll see, yeah, clearly offside by the time that Catherine Paulson played that. The offside trap was neatly set there by the Broncos. Dayakis near side. Seven Nation Army chant going on here for the fans who are still braving this thing out. They'll go out for a goal kick. Excuse me, a throw in here. Colby Barnett, corner. So Santa Clara looking to bolster that lead here before halftime in the 41st minute. We'll get a corner from Karen Gore. She's over the ball near corner flag. Short corner option is Barnett. Both can provide nice service for the Broncos. It looks like it's going to be Gore to send it in. She does. Towards the spot, and it gets cleared. Makoto Nezu sending it back into a dangerous area over the head of D'Aquila. So that'll skid out of play. Well, certainly been an intriguing first 45 minutes. 3 goals already in this one. And a rematch of last year's first round NCAA tournament battle, won by the Broncos 1-0. En route to a second straight College Cup for the Broncos. It was held right here at Stevens Stadium. Losing in heartbreaking fashion in PKs to BYU. So officially goes down as a draw. BYU lost in PKs to Florida State. It's Barnett. Barnett looking towards the spot. Cleared out of there. Trying to keep it in, but it's Aki Yuasa. Chance to counter here for the Cardinal. Out on the break, Yuasa carrying into space. Bit of a heavy last touch. Really tough conditions to play in. Not quite sure what that ball is going to do. Don't envy these players. Not in the least bit. Unfortunately, seen an injury already. Lucy Mitchell going down. Elise Evans. Some good hold-up play there by Amy Sayer. Sayer gets it back. Amy Oh. Played in, looking top of the box. See people slipping and sliding. Gore. Karen Gore. Looking for Elma Zion. It's Kennedy Wesley providing the clearance for Stanford. Got about a minute left. We actually will be able to bring you that special interview at the half, so happy it's back on.
1 minute remaining in the half. 1 minute.
Final minute. This will go out for a goal kick for Ryan Campbell. Amy Sayer. A physical play there, and Sayer's going to get called for the crime right before halftime.
10, 9,
so
8,
that'll do it for the first half.
4,
and
2.
That will do it for the first 45 minutes of play. What an entertaining first half. 2-1 Broncos at the break, and 2 goals from Izzy DeQuilla. When we come back, we'll be joined by the great Brandy Chastain to talk about bringing an NWSL team to San Jose. You're watching Santa Clara Women's Soccer on the WCC Network. We are at the half. Santa Clara with a 2-1 lead over 9th-ranked Stanford. An intriguing first 45 minutes played in a deluge, and we are pleased to be joined by the World Cup champion herself, Brandy Chastain. Brandy, thanks so much for joining us. Did you like playing in a downpour like this?
Heck yes, absolutely. This is the kind of weather that soccer players love. Just you can get on the ground, you get a little wet, you slide a little bit,
yeah.
Mix it up a bit.
Yeah, no, it certainly looks like
it didn't happen very much in California, however, only from time to time.
Yeah, I mean, it hasn't rained here in forever.
Yes.
And it decided to pour down here on September 18th for what has been a fantastic match to this point. Well, Brandy, you're not here for your health. We need to talk about bringing the NWSL to the Bay, of which you are a founder. And this is kind of the perplexing thing to me, right? The Bay Area has been such a great spot for women's sports, especially the collegiate ranks. Santa Clara Women's Soccer, Stanford Women's Soccer have great supporter sections. Stanford Women's Basketball, great supporter section, yet we don't have a WNBA team and we don't have an NWSL team, and hopefully that's changing very soon.
We will be hopefully changing that very, very soon, coming hopefully the news in November sometime. We are thrilled about what you just said, talking about the supporters group. We know we have fans here who love the game, who love women's soccer, who want to support, elite level play, and the fact that we don't have a women's team in the place that's probably the most innovative in the world is not good, and so we're about to change that.
Yeah, I mean, it's great to see the NWSL expansion. You got the Angel City FC, you've seen San Diego get in the mix, and I'm just thinking as a Bay Area guy myself, all right, well, when's it coming to the Bay Area? And it couldn't happen soon enough.
There's no doubt about that, and we feel the same way. We believe we're the natural bridge between those 2 teams that you just said down in Southern California and in the north with Seattle and Portland.
Yeah.
And the whole corridor is just ripe with people who love the game. We've got young players like Maya who's standing right here, and she's a great player herself, and there's no reason for her not to be able to see people who look like her, who come from backgrounds like her, who are out there, challenging the best of the best on a weekly basis. So we know we want to build something here that will make every single fan and supporter of the game feel at home, feel like they belong, feel like that it's their team. We want to hear them singing and chanting and cheering as if it means something really, really deep to them. And so we're going to build the best brand, but we're going to put the best team on the field as well.
Well, yeah, plenty to get to here, but I'm glad you brought up a young player like Maya because, I go to these Stanford women's soccer games, these Santa Clara women's soccer games, and you see the club teams that come to these games, and you see how many of, those club players have gone on to become, Elise Evans or an Ali Montoya, because when they were growing up, they were watching Kristen Press and Kelly O'Hara, and it really just kind of fills a nice pipeline for the next generation to come.
Well, there's no doubt. I mean, they see the likes also of Julie Ertz and Sofia Huerta, and these are players that are right here in our own backyard, and there's no reason for them to go anywhere else to play the best football that they can play. And so we're going to build something that's going to be unique. It's not just going to be about can we win games? It's going to be about putting the best product on the field with the best intentions for the players in mind. And we're going to do it with innovative companies, and we're going to do it in a way that hopefully will make everybody feel proud. And absolutely, we want to drive the fan base as the priority. We want to give them what they want, which is great soccer.
Yeah, Brandy, you've had a chance to play in a couple different professional leagues here in the Bay Area, FC Gold Pride about a decade ago, and then before that, the Cyber Rays. And I'm just curious, what did you learn from those experiences in previous women's professional soccer leagues that you can apply here to the NWSL?
Well, I think what has been consistent is that the product has always been good. The players have always been quality, and that's not been the problem. I think understanding the dynamic of women's sports, I think it was initially the business issue. But now what we're seeing is because women's sports has, listen, when you think about the NWSL, the WUSA, that was 2000.
Yeah.
That was a long time from where we are now. And so we've learned lots of lessons, but I just think, the world of women's sports has been catapulted into a new stratosphere, to be honest with you. The women are standing up, they're speaking loud, they're playing hard, they're winning amazing championships, and people are taking notice. And I think that to me has been a part of the biggest battle was for sponsors and TV to take it seriously. And we know that this half of the population makes a lot of decisions with the dollars in households. And so that also is a big driving force. But again, for us, it's about fans, it's about supporters, it's about the people that live in the Bay feeling that they belong here. And we want to encourage everybody who's listening to sign up on the website, nwsltothebay.com. Anything on social media, #NWSL to the Bay. Please come join our family, join our team. We want you. If you want to be a part of our team, tell us what you do well.
Yeah.
Tell us what you do well, and you know what? You could be a part of this.
Yeah, and this is going to be a really exciting thing that is coming to the Bay Area. You talk about innovation, and we're in Silicon Valley. This is the hub of innovation, and it would fit in perfectly with a new NWSL team.
There's no doubt. And we're not just thinking about the year that we enter. We're talking about 10 years into the future, and how are we going to change the whole landscape, and how will we make it different and better? And that's really, I think, what our mission is. Set a new standard like we always do in everything we attempt. We are hoping to push the envelope to new heights, and we're going to challenge other teams in this league to be their best, and we're going to elevate our league to be the best in the world.
Yeah, and it's a league that has had a lot of Santa Clara players come through it. I got to ask you, as an alum yourself, what have you liked as we kind of talk about this match a little bit, and what you've seen from Santa Clara women's soccer this year? I know it's been a lot of tough results. They've been first best on the pitch and second best on the scoreboard a lot of times this year, but there's still a lot of talent on this team.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. I mean, Izzy D'Aquila just showed us tonight 2 goals already in the first half. She's been in and around the goal all year. We've been battling. I mean, when you lose 2 players like Alex Luera and Kelsey Turnbow, who are starting for their NWSL teams as rookies, you've lost some quality people. So we're not trying to fill their boots, but we're bringing on some young kids who are playing in Farrah Walters and Annie Carriage, for example. And, I think what's happening in this game is it's a rivalry. It's a crosstown rivalry. It's getting down and dirty, and it's getting on the turf, and it's in the air, and great chances like the second one that Izzy scored. And, I mean, this is exactly what you hope in collegiate sports right here.
Yeah, I was mentioning it as the broadcast was coming on. This is one of the best rivalries in all of college soccer, Stanford and Santa Clara. And really, the only unfortunate thing is that if they're not both seeded in the top 16, they play each other too early in the NCAA tournament time after time.
Yeah, you beat me to it. You beat me to it. Yeah, I mean, obviously we want to make our conference proud at the WCC, but we also want to we represent the West Coast, right? We represent soccer out here, and it is a shame that the NCAA does put us two of the best teams together because of finances, and that should never happen. And I'm hoping that we'll be changing that. I'm hoping the committee, I'm hoping college coaches, we want the best teams in the tournament. And so tonight for Santa Clara, this is a chance for them to showcase that they are one of those top teams. Yeah, the beginning of the season hasn't gone exactly how we planned, but we've been playing really well and not getting the results. And sometimes you have to really dig down deep. And this is the kind of game that you have to really find out what kind of character you have.
Well, we've been pleased to be joined by Brandy Chastain, founder of NWSL to the Bay, hoping to bring a team to San Jose. Brandy, anything else that we should know about with trying to bring the NWSL to the Bay before we bid you adieu?
Yeah, we want everybody listening to join our team. Please do sign up. Go on the website, nwsltothebay.com. Fill out your information. Tell us how much you love women's soccer. Sign up, sign up, sign up, sign up. We want to create a fan base before we've even been told that we have our team, because when it comes, we're going to sell all the tickets and there won't be any left. So don't wait. Don't sleep on NWSL to the Bay.
Well, Brandy, thanks so much for joining us. It's an absolute pleasure having you here on campus and here in the broadcast booth, and enjoy the second half.
I surely will. Come on, Broncos. Let's go. We want to make the WCC proud.
All right, 45 minutes to go. See if they can get this big win against the Cardinal here on the WCC Network. All right, we are just about ready for the start of the second half. It is coming in a couple of minutes. Before that, let's take a look at some replays from an action-packed first half of soccer. The Santa Clara cheerleaders out here, and the Broncos fans were cheering early and often. That's Izzy DeQuilla in the second minute, putting the Broncos up 1-0. Then the rain really started to come down. Unfortunately, Lucy Mitchell got injured, but right after that, it was Izzy DeQuilla. About a minute later, after Lucy Mitchell, her teammate, was carried off the pitch, it's Izzy DeQuilla diving over to her teammates to give Santa Clara a 2-0 lead. The fans have been in for a treat, but you knew Stanford wasn't going to go away easily. Samantha Williams, this is about a minute after she subbed on, scoring in the 34th minute to make it 2-1. It's her fourth goal of the season, and the rain continuing to pour, though it does look like it's letting up now. You see people slipping and sliding, and physical play all about, as the Broncos and Cardinal just about ready for the start of the second half. And it has been Stanford that has outshot Santa Clara by 7-6. 3 shots hitting the target for the Cardinal, 2 for Santa Clara. So Ryan Campbell yet to make a save. Nicholas has made a couple, I should say, for Santa Clara. We'll see if it's going to be her in the second half. Might be Kylie Fouch. We were told by Jerry Smith that the expectation, when I talked with him on Thursday, was that it was going to be split time for these keepers. Like I said, this has been a physical match. We've had 19 combined fouls. Corner edge going to the Broncos, 2-1. So, final huddle for Stanford, and Santa Clara's 11 back out there. And it is indeed Kylie Fouch, by the way, who will be in the net for Santa Clara in the second half. So as expected, splitting 45 minutes down the middle. You have two very good goalkeepers. It's a good problem to have if you're Jerry Smith. So here we go. Second half underway. And Rubenstein gets a boot to it, but the Broncos looking to start the interrogation straight away. D'Aquila for Walters. No, it is blown up. But good bit of work just 15 seconds into the second half for Santa Clara. Throw in. Barnett, who's had a whale of a match to this point. Played into space for her by Gore and cleared aside. Sayer getting the second half start with Montoya and Williams up top. It was Lumi Kosmeyer who started alongside Montoya and Abby Grubel in the first half for Stanford. Isabel Diaki's getting the second half start for the Broncos. As Ike tries to stay on it, great tackle there by Andy Carrick, who has received rave reviews from Jerry Smith this year. Carrick replaced the injured Sally Menti, who tore ACL in training for the U20 Women's World Cup, and then also replaced her in the lineup here. So for club and country, Carrick filling in for Sally Menti. Good work here by Barnett. Looking for D'Aquila. Gets a boot to it. But Evans blasts it to momentary safety. Oh, that gets past Ryan Campbell. Oh, the playing conditions very difficult right now. Ryan Campbell just slipped and made for a really nervy moment. I mean, you could see all the mud that she's dealing with in front of her there. It will be a corner kick for Santa Clara. Look at this. Nice touch looking for Walters. Later on was when Campbell slipped. And a corner kick here for the Broncos. Colby Barnett standing over the ball in the near corner flag. And she'll send it in. Couldn't quite get it to D'Aquila. Popped high, Walters working against Leontini. And Santa Clara has been the one asking the questions here in the first 3 minutes or so of the second half. Not content to be up just 2-1. That whistle going against the home team, and the fans not too happy about it. Evans. Forward it goes. More physical play ensues. Sierra Engie into the box looking for Ike. Jasmine Ike on it in the area. Chipping one in, back post, and just came up a little high off the thigh of Leontini. Otherwise, it would have been 2-2. Good ball in from Ike. You'll see it here. Great work to get to the end line. And yeah, just a little high for Leontini to control. Was able to get a boot to it, but a tough hop for her to play. For the most part, the pitch is held up just in front of both keepers. Quite a bit of mud to be expected. Angie taking it down for the Cardinal. Give away to Walters. She of hat trick fame at Oregon 10 days prior. Looping ball looking to get D'Aquila over the top. D'Aquila goes to ground in the box. No chance that that would get called a penalty kick. You can try, though. Try to earn that spot foul. Sayer. And a throw in here for the Cardinal. Santa Clara getting goals in the 2nd minute and 22nd minute from Izzy D'Aquila. Assisted by Karen Gore, Alyssa Bourgeois, Annie Carrick, and Farrah Walters. So a couple of assists on each goal. D'Aquila, heavy touch forward, and Avani Brandt, who gets the second half start at center back, replacing Madison Eisen. And it was Diakis. Mentioned she got the second half start. She filled in for the injured Lucy Mitchell. Ike carrying it forward. Jasmine Ike around a bevy of black-clad Broncos. Hard foul called on Sayer. She's shown a yellow as Bourgeois slow to get up for Santa Clara. So Sayer into the ref's book. Another caution in this match. The second against a Cardinal player. Leontini was booked in the 20th minute in the first half. And then had the challenge on Lucy Mitchell that caused her to leave the match. Not saying it was nefarious at all. It didn't appear to be that way from Leontini. Just an unfortunate situation. Bourgeois trying to chip it back in. Leontini getting that one to Williams. Be a throw in here for Stanford. Kennedy Wesley smartly done there. Very strong, very physical player. Rubenstein. A home run ball. And Nezu going to be the first one to it. We'll play it into touch. Throwing there from Rubenstein. Gore clearing. Another throwing basically maybe just a few yards up. In the final third for the Cardinal. Santa Clara had a large say of things first few minutes. Now Stanford settling into the second half. Nezu. Oh, could have been dangerous for the Cardinal. Williams looked like she was going to be able to get free for a moment there. Samantha Williams, great player out of Laguna Beach. 4 goals her freshman year, 4 goals this year and counting. Here's Kennedy Wesley in the box. Wesley chipping one in. It goes right to Kylie Fouch. Or Fouch getting the second half start. Fouch has started 3 matches this year. Got injured against TCU. And then Felicity Baker got the start at UCLA. Against UCLA. That was here. And then it's been Nicholas who's started since. In the last couple of matches, it's been first half Nicholas, second half Fouch for Santa Clara. About 10 minutes into the second half, Makoto Nezu. Can that get to Farrah Walters? Oh, but a throw in. Rain is coming down a bit, but not nearly how it was coming down around the half-hour mark of this match, where it was torrential, or as torrential as it gets in the Bay Area. And the rain had caused a power outage a few hours ago for some areas of San Jose. Karen Gore. Nice bit of work. The Yankees. Here's Walters. Farrah Walters. Oh, beautiful sliding clearance there by Kennedy Wesley. That'll be picked up. Ryan Campbell with it. Campbell, her first year starting, taking over for Katie Meyer, who had exhausted eligibility, but of course, unfortunately, passing away in March. The Stanford soccer team wearing Mental Health Matters warm-up shirts prior to each match this year. Just an unbelievably tragic loss for the Stanford soccer community. Remember Katie Meyer for her efforts in the 2019 College Cup. That was in San Jose. I believe at the time it was called Avaya Stadium. And Stanford won on PKs in the national championship match against North Carolina. A couple of big saves from Katie Meyer, who became a Sports Center highlight queen with their celebration. And Paul Ratcliffe saying they think about Katie every day. They're playing for her to have a good season for Katie this year. Kylie Fouch blasting that one off. Here's Leontini. Nicely played out to Rubenstein. Rubenstein getting past Barnett. And DeQuilla with a great play defensively. Izzy getting tugged. That'll be a free kick here for the Broncos. This would be by far the best win of the season for Santa Clara if they could hold on for another 31 minutes and 40 seconds of game action and give them some positive vibes heading into the rest of the year. They will only be playing WCC schools the rest of the regular season, even though the next two will officially be non-conference matches. They take on USF and Pacific, and the reason it's done that way is because the WCC, one of the few leagues around here that have just 10 teams, and so it's tough to get non-conference games end of September, early October, because the other conferences are already in conference play. And so Jerry Smith, who doesn't want to go 2 weeks without playing a game. He said, 14 days off from competition in the middle of the season, never a good idea. Has scheduled conference foes, and he's scheduling the Dons and the Tigers this year for a couple of non-conference battles. And then WCC play will begin after that for real, for real. Well, it's been a great year for Pepperdine, who just took their first loss of the season against top-ranked UCLA, losing 4-0 in Malibu. UCLA jumped to number 1 after just as good of a weekend as you can have, winning on the road at number 2 Duke and on the road at number 1 North Carolina, same weekend. And that popped them up from number 3 to number 1. And rightly so. They are completely unblemished this year, the Bruins. 8-0-0 after beating Pepperdine. Bubness volleying a clearance into the stands. Can't take that souvenir home with you, unfortunately. Ike earns a set piece just outside of the box. The foul on Nezu. And Stanford with a great opportunity to draw level. 61st minute. And a referee will walk off the 10 yards to where the Santa Clara wall can set up. Samantha Martinez marking off those 10 paces. It'll be a 5-player wall for the Broncos. And Amy Sayer to take the set piece, or will it be Leontini? They're both there. Left-footed boot high from Amy Sayer. And Santa Clara still up 2-1. Lumi Kostmeyer will come back on. They take another look at this direct-to-goal attempt from Amy Sayer. And back on off the crossbar. Kostmeyer just came back on and nearly drew this match level. Whoa. Caught everyone by surprise here. And Santa Clara fortunate, they still have the lead. Kostmeyer coming off that hat trick against San Diego, nearly had her 8th goal of the season. Montoya now. Montoya, see her technical skill. Ike. Kostmeyer. That'll get out to Rubenstein, playing it wide. Gore. Able to deflect that one. Here's another look at this shot from Kostmeyer. It just went over the boot of a Santa Clara defender. Fouch was beat there, but couldn't tuck it underneath the crossbar. Kostmeyer. And Santa Clara, for the moment, still in the lead. But Stanford has grown much more threatening as this second half has progressed. Glenn can't clear. Here's Montoya. Ali Montoya in the box. And a great bit of defending there from Bourgeois. The Broncos have been completely pinned back here by the Cardinal. And Stanford bringing wave after wave of attack. That'll be a foul on Kostmeyer. Solid defending there from Bubness. And it'll be key for Santa Clara to have a spell of possession here. I'm not sure any team would be able to withstand 30-ish minutes of what the Cardinal can do without conceding another goal. This will help a throw in here for the Broncos. Get out of your own end a little bit for the time being. The Reeves sisters are going to come on. Carly, number 21, and Emma, number 30. They started the year as a center back pairing. Then they became an outside back pairing. And it looks like that's where they will take their spots right now.
Broncos, number 30, Emma Reeves is in.
Farrah Walters.
Number 8, Karen Moore. Also number 21, Carly Reeves is in.
And Avani Brandt on one hop. So Bourgeois and Gore out indeed. The Reeves sisters in as outside backs. D'Aquila and Evans locked up there. There's D'Aquila. I was hoping to play that one out wide to Colby Barnett, but they'll go out for a Stanford throw. And more subs to be made. Tiana Almazai in for Santa Clara. Grubel and Logan Smith on for Stanford. Ali Montoya and Samantha Williams will go back to the Paul Radcliffe sideline. Logan Smith scored her first collegiate goal on Thursday, part of that 5-0 win over San Diego. She's a freshman from Boise, Idaho.
Also 28, Logan Smith is in for 25, Samantha Williams.
Ike for Stanford. Trying to pick out Grubel. A little too heavy, that ball. So a goal kick coming up for Fouch and the Broncos here in the 66th minute. We've played nearly half of the second half. And so far, the Broncos have withstood the onslaught that Stanford's put on the last 15 minutes or so. One shot going off the crossbar. A lot of time in the attacking third for Stanford. But here come the Broncos. They spent the first 5 minutes on the front foot. That will be a foul. First, it didn't look like a whistle had been blown, but Barnett, slow to get up. She appears to be all right. Free kick here for, oh no, I guess it was just a throw-in. Yeah, foul wasn't whistled. It had just gone out on Stanford. And it'll go out again for another throw-in. Another sub coming on for the Broncos. Looks like that's Alex Kloss, number 28.
Number 28,
Yep.
Alex Kloss is in.
Kloss is on. Ellie Glenn is off. So Kloss, the freshman from Folsom, making her 5th appearance of the season, has taken 4 shots this year, 3 of which have been on target. That'll roll out for a Campbell goal kick. She has been the starter all of one match this year. Haley Craig got the start in the win over DePaul. Haley Craig, a redshirt freshman. Paul Radcliffe saying it's always a competition. Even though Ryan Campbell has been the starter the vast majority of the season, Haley Craig pushing her. That was very physical, and a yellow will be shown to Izzy D'Aquila. Battle of captains there, D'Aquila and Kennedy Wesley. And that's the first Bronco to go in the book. 3rd booking of the night. On yellows tonight for Stanford, Leontini and Sayer. Barnett able to get that one forward to D'Aquila, trying to lay it out for Almazai. Emma Reeves on it. Well, this is much better here for Santa Clara, relieving the pressure, having a bit of their own say in the attacking third. Hogan Smith taking it down. Santa Clara able to win that back with Kloss. Ahead for Diakis, the former Arizona State Sun Devil, missing wide. 69th minute. Still plenty of time. Santa Clara will need to defend this out and then some. Trying to break the lines there, the Cardinal. Carrick for Kloss. It's Carrick. Diakis. Ahead for Colby Barnett, trying to slide to save it in, can't quite do it. This has been a great match to this point. Always a good crowd when Stanford and Santa Clara get together. One of the premier rivalries in college soccer. Great to talk with Brandy Chastain and her efforts to bring the NWSL to the Bay Area. NWSL to the Bay, hashtag that. Find out more information. Hopefully we're seeing a team in San Jose before too long, I should say. Got the park here. Great place. The Earthquakes play at PayPal Park. The area is formerly known as Avaya Stadium. Sierra Engie. And Fouch will sit on it. So we certainly hope to see an NWSL team here in San Jose and the South Bay and Bay Area in general. There's Aki Yuasa. She'll come on, replacing Sierra Engie. Engie a holding mid for Stanford.
Yuasa back in for number 5, Sierra Engie.
So kind of the two center mids, kind of the holding mids right now. Leontini and Yuasa for Stanford. They try to play it up top for Kostmeyer. Here's Ike, the attacking mid. This is Wesley, Kennedy Wesley, advancing forward. The outside back, looking back post. The flick on header goes wide for Kostmeyer. It was defended pretty well by Santa Clara. That would have been a worldie had Kostmeyer been able to somehow contort that one in. More subs for the Cardinal. Kelly Pagador and Nia Harrison, a pair of outside backs in for Kennedy Wesley and Paige Rubenstein. You figure this isn't for the rest of the match. You imagine those two will get back on at some point for Paul Ratcliffe. You are allowed one re-entry in the second half, of course, in college soccer, different from the FIFA game. Kloss, nicely done. Great bit of defending there from number 28. Trying to unlock El Mazai over the top. Almost got there. Foul's going to be called on Siana. A senior from Saratoga, the Archbishop Midi Monarch. Showing off a good work rate there, though, even though she got called for the foul. Made for a nervy moment as far as the Cardinal were concerned. Evans for Stanford. There's Kostmeyer. Nicely done, Isabel Diakis. Kloss looking for El Mazai, no. Pagador. Kloss is there again. Kloss making her presence felt here this last couple of minutes. Pressure working well here for the Broncos. Stanford unable to really sustain an attack with that possession. The Broncos pretty positive here. Elmazai towing that one out to Barnett. Colby back for Sienna Elmazai. Central for Kloss. D'Aquila. First touch got away from her a little bit. And the Cardinal counter now with Logan Smith. Still Logan. And nicely done by Bubness. Nazu forward. Nice ball out to Elmazai. Evans fouling Makoto Nezu, and a chance for Santa Clara to eat up a little bit of clock. Time not a total concern yet. Still a quarter hour plus to play, but chance to have more say of the ball. This is Carly Reeves from San Diego. Carly working on Pagador. Trying to find the head of D'Aquila. Can't do it, but here's Barnett keeping it in the box. Colby Barnett volleyed out by Evans. Santa Clara not interested in parking the bus. Stanford from minutes like 51, 52 to 66, 67 were all sorts of threatening, but Santa Clara was able to withstand those attacking chances for the Cardinal, and since then, Santa Clara has had a good say of the ball, time in the attacking third, and one moment of brilliance away from making this a 3-1 game. Trying to get that 2-goal lead right back. Well, not right back anymore. It's been 2-1 for quite some time. More than 40 minutes, but at least trying to pad the edge. D'Aquila laying that off for Diakis. It's Barnett, edge of the area. Colby Barnett working on Harrison. And Evans clears. Kostmeyer, and here comes Jasmine Ike with acres of space. Ike, not a lot of options, and tackled there by the Broncos. That was Emma Reeves with the very solid bit of defensive work. 77th minute. Santa Clara a little more than 13 minutes away from their biggest win of the season. And a chance to get 2 straight wins against the Cardinal. Grubel missing wide. And the substitution horn has sounded. We'll see Samantha Williams, Ali Montoya, and Sierra Engie all on for the Cardinal. Coming off, Julia Leontini, Logan Smith, and Abby Grubel. Fouch on the goal kick. Can Kostmeyer get there? No. And Bubness made sure of that. Taking a little bit of a bump from Lumi. Bubness up to the physical challenge. Bubness, the junior from Carlsbad, has started all 8 matches for the Broncos this year. Team that defeated Stanford 1-0 in the first round of the NCAA tournament last year. En route to the College Cup. Throw in here for Stanford. D'Aquila almost got to it. Try to play one over the top for Kostmeyer. Bubness there. Bubness. And Kostmeyer. Shot is deflected wide by Fouch. Ooh. Dangerous. Looked like Kosmeyer fouled Bubness there. Wasn't called, and Kosmeyer got off a good shot. Be a corner kick for Stanford now. That's Ali Montoya standing over it. Montoya's service into the box. Cleared by Barnett. They'll do it again. This one played short. Samantha Williams sending it in. Back post. And Aquila did not touch that. It'll be a goal kick for Fouch. Remember last year, that first round NCAA tournament match played right here at Stevens Stadium. It was Makoto Nezu in the 59th minute providing the match decider. As Bourgeois will come on for Carly Reeves. Alyssa back on.
Clara, number 12. Alyssa Bourgeois is back in. Number 21, Carly Reeves.
That's off Almazai. So 10 minutes to go now. And it's still 2-1 Broncos. 2 early goals from Izzy D'Aquila. Will they hold up? So far the answer has been yes. We still got plenty to play. Nice work from Bourgeois. Nearly snuck that one through to Almazai, but Evans up to the task that her role of central defense requires. Jasmine Ike. Pagador into the box. Heavy touch from Williams, couldn't bring it down. Navani Brandt. Nice work there, but not on the same page as Williams, and Santa Clara will get a throw in. Throw in for Alyssa Bourgeois from Maynard, Massachusetts, the transfer from Boston U. Here's Evans. Harrison. Kostmeyer in the box. Brings it out. Ike runs into trouble. Takes a shot, misses high. Took a deflection corner kick. Bronco fans sitting in front of me didn't realize that took a deflection. I also didn't see the deflection, but they have a much better view. Pitch level, Montoya. Out by Diakis, clearing that one, and Nia Harrison will rush to take the throw in. And she'll have to take another one, Nia, who's got an assist this year. Into the box, Kostmeyer winning a corner. The corner's starting to pile up here for the Cardinal. This will be number 5 for Stanford here in the 83rd minute. Williams laying that back for Montoya. Montoya crosses on. Headed by Evans, but couldn't shape it on target. Went well away from the face of goal. And a throw in for Stanford. Santa Clara can't believe it. Pagador will take the quick throw in though. Here's Engie. And cleared. So it was a good 10 10-plus minute stretch where Santa Clara had some solid possession, had it in the attacking third. Now Stanford back on the front foot here as we reach the latter stages of this one. And Fouch dives on top of it. We got just a little more than 6 minutes to play. See if Santa Clara can continue to hang on. The Broncos have been outshot 16-7 in this one now. Fouch has had to make a couple of saves here in the second half. It's Samantha Williams. Williams to her right, trying to play on Ike. And Dayakis send it ahead. It'll be a foul on Stanford, so it's all the better for Santa Clara. It was a 5-0 start for Stanford, and now the Cardinal in danger of taking their second loss from their last 4 matches. As their last non-conference match, they take on USC in their Pac-12 opener on Friday. USC, always a dangerous side, recent national champions. Throw in for Harrison. There's Uwasa. Aki Uwasa. Kloss will get there. Here comes Colby Barnett, winning that ball, taking the shot. And sends it right to Campbell. Santa Clara had a chance to counter there. They do get a shot on goal. That's a handball on Bourgeois. Santa Clara having to defend another 4.5 minutes. Pagador comes right back to her. Pagador with the left boot and takes the deflection off Kloss. Santa Clara looking to make a couple of substitutions on their next throw-in. Clock will stop when they do since they have the lead. Trying to get Gore back out there with Farrah Walters. This is Montoya. Nicely shaped ball, top of the box. And a foul on the edge of the 18, the very edge of it. 87th minute. Looks like it'll be Montoya. That is just beyond the box. It'll be Jasmine Ike. Yeah, that wall is too close. And Samantha Martinez marking off the 10 paces. Here we go. Will it be Montoya? Will it be Ike? 3-player wall for the Broncos. It's Ike. Shot is off the crossbar. Still 2-1. Second shot that has pinged the crossbar in the second half for Stanford. Kosmeyer earlier in the half and Ike that time. Quick restart on the corner kick. Kosmeyer sending it in. And Harrison colliding with Kloss. And a foul called. Alex Kloss. Worse for wear there. But a brave clearance provided by the freshman. And she's going to gut it out. Clock stopped at 87:19, so 2 minutes and 41 seconds to play. Throw in for Harrison. We are in the nitty-gritty. Can Santa Clara hang on to what would be a huge result? Bourgeois, Ike, battle of 12s. It's Ike who wins the free kick. 25 yards out, the foul on Bourgeois. Fans don't like the whistle. Here in the 88th minute, Ike, who just took a very good set piece, nearly found the back of the net. drilled the crossbar. She is over the ball again. Will she go direct? It certainly looks like it. Ike does go direct and puts it in! Oh, Stanford has drawn level in the 89th minute. Jasmine Ike with a brilliant set piece. And we are all square with 1:46 to go. 5-player wall, bent it around the wall, far post. And I'm not sure if Fouch really saw that one. Great shot off the free kick from Jasmine Ike. Still time for Santa Clara to get that goal back, but they got to hurry. This would be a good draw, but it'd be a very disappointing one for Santa Clara, that's for sure. You have the 2-0 lead in the first half and unable to defend this one out. Colby Barnett earning a few yards on that last throw-in. Carrick taking a knock on that last kick. Got a little more than a minute to go. Izzy DeQuilla. Oh, nice cheeky flick. Was looking for Walters. That gets through to Diakis. Takes a crack at it and paints it right on Campbell. Ryan Campbell making the save, goes right to the center of the park with her boot. Last gasps both ways. Should be a throw-in for Stanford, they say. Fans not happy with that whistle. Bent in. That'll be a foul on Stanford and Sierra Engie. That'll just about do it. So, no overtime anymore in regular season soccer, much to the chagrin of Jerry Smith. And as a result, this match will end in a 2-2 draw. Tough one here for Santa Clara. Yes, you will take a draw with number 9 Stanford if you asked them at the beginning of the match. But the way this one started, a tough one to swallow, giving up a goal in the 89th minute off a free kick from Jasmine Ike. We'll come back and tell you all the particulars of this one, this 2-2 draw between number 9 Stanford and your Santa Clara Broncos when we come back on the WCC Network. Your final from Stevens Stadium, Santa Clara 2, Stanford 2. The Broncos the first 2 goals, the Cardinal the last 2 goals, and what was a thriller on this rainy Sunday evening from Santa Clara. Kevin Dan on the call with you. Let's take a look at the highlights from this match, the final non-conference match of the year for Stanford and the final non-WCC foe Santa Clara will face until the postseason. That was Izzy DeQuilla in the 2nd minute. This is Izzy DeQuilla in the 22nd minute. That made it 2-0, and all was well for the Broncos. But before half's end, Samantha Williams checks on, and not much longer she scored in the 34th to make it 2-1. The rain was really coming down in the 2-1. The rain was really coming down in the 2-1. The rain was really coming down in the, and you can see it still caused problems for the players out there. People slipping left and right. That was Ryan Campbell, the Stanford keeper. Foul there on Makoto Nezu, and then that set piece missing. Stanford had free kick after free kick. 75th minute on, they were very dangerous. Looming Kosmeyer hitting the crossbar there. That could have made it 2-2. This one off the crossbar from Jasmine Ike, and then this one leveled it up in the 89th minute, also from Jasmine Ike. A brilliant set piece taken in the 89th minute, and Jasmine Ike has her first career goal at the college level on that free kick. And that was your final goal. And that Leaves us with the 2-2 scoreline. So Santa Clara, as we take a look at the final stats from this one, the Broncos now 2-5-1, and the Cardinals 7-1-1. The Broncos were outshot 18-9 tonight. 6 shots on goal for Stanford, 4 for the Broncos. Ryan Campbell making 2 saves apiece for Kylie Fouch and Marley Nicholas. Nicholas got the start in the first half, played 45 minutes. It was Fouch who played the second 45. Physical game, 33 combined fouls, 19 committed by the Cardinal, 14 going against the Broncos. 9 combined corners, 6 for Stanford, and 3 for Santa Clara. Well, the Broncos mentioned it's only WCC foes from here on out. That said, conference play won't start quite yet. They have non-conference games against USF and Pacific. Next broadcast will be against USF. The Dons having a great start to their season at 5-1-3, coming off a win at Cal State Fullerton. They will be here at Stevens Stadium Thursday at 7 p.m. You can watch that match here on the WCC network. So the Broncos will look to get their 3rd win of the season in 4 nights' time. Well, that will do it for this broadcast. This telecast was granted by Santa Clara University and the West Coast Conference. Any use and rebroadcast requires the express written consent of Santa Clara and the West Coast Conference. For the entire broadcast team, led by Robert Quintero tonight, I'm Kevin Dana. Thanks for watching.